Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young and welcome back to Factorio using the C-Block mod pack on 0.16. So last time we started our new factory on the new 0.16 patch and mod pack. There's these things out there I still want to look at, these desert gardens that have stuff in them. I wonder if they shoot at me. I mean, those they kind of took the place of worms. Maybe not. Worms are still out there. Like, those are worms right there. These are different. And what's that? That's just a random island with nothing on it at all. So, yeah, we need to figure that out still. Let's just talk priorities, talk goals. So I think goal number 1, I need to get more landfill so I can lay out more windmills. Goal number 2, I need to get a steady supply of iron and copper so that we can get science going. Goal number 3, I need to get a steady supply of wood and fuel so that we can power all of our various things. Or replace them with electric equivalents. But certainly we need to keep it. We need to get a nice carbon cycle going here, where it's self-sustaining itself. It's sustaining itself and producing a little extra. But right now, kind of our overriding thing is to get more landfill. We kind of have to balance between landfill and science. I don't want to completely ignore production. But I shouldn't have bothered to build more. I thought we only had this many turbines for some reason, windmills. But instead we have so many more, we just don't have the space to place them. Once we get those out, we'll be able to support many more of these, which will let us build up our slag much faster. It's crushing manually instead of... Don't do that. But yeah, we need to keep things going. And at the same time, I want to try to maybe figure out some ratios so that when we get around to building, we'll be doing it better. Wait a minute, how'd I get 30? Did I have some in my hand? Anyway. So this will be right there for our pattern. It might not be the best pattern, it probably isn't, but this was the one that seemed obvious to me. So we need to be this wide. I kind of already feel like we're better off than we were a bit ago. In our first playthrough, because we actually understand like the idea of the mod and what stereotype is and all that. And this should not be saying iron anymore. It should be saying steel anymore. But oh well. Let's figure out exactly what kind of a loss we're getting from this. Turning that back on. Yeah, okay. So I just want to compare, see how viable it is to do it this way. So, just a moment to pull this up. Alright. So this is about landfill generation. Or really about crushed stone. So the easy way to get crushed stone is to, well, I want to figure out how much crushed stone we're losing by going ahead and building minerals from it. So this is 10 crushed stone for 10 mineralized water. 10 crushed stone for 100 mineralized water. And this takes 200 mineralized water. Let's leave some space. 200 mineralized water to produce 1.8. I think that's how that works. 1.8 ore of the different types. Then when we crush, 2 ore becomes 1 crushed stone. So that's a pretty terrible ratio. Wow. Okay, wait a minute. So let me just figure this out. So this is saying that 10 crushed stone, well, 100 mineralized water would become divided by that 0.9 ore, and 0.9 ore is the equivalent of a 0.45 stone. So this process turns 10 crushed stone into 0.45 stone. That's pretty terrible. That's like losing a lot. I mean, we're getting iron and copper out of it, but in terms of landfill, that's cutting our production by a tenth, by 90%. So let's not do that. Let's just keep on building landfill in hand for now, until we have a lot of crushed stone production. You don't need to oversaturate these so much with that. We're only really powering one electrolyzer at the moment, so having 2 out there is just creating logistic problems for me. But that's okay. We're fixing that. That's the whole point. That was the worst thing they could have placed it. Now I can't do either one. I guess it does starts from the top left and goes down, maybe? But either way, that did not work out for me. How are we doing on power now? We're meeting satisfaction. It's strange. I guess I could help by crushing myself. No, I can't crush stone by hand. Interesting. Right? No, I can create stone, but I can't crush stone by hand. I can only crush stereotype and sapphirite ore. You have to go through a burner and sorter. A burner ore crusher to get there. That's okay. It's not a problem. Game seems a little quiet. Have I turned off an option or something? Like, is it not auto-playing music? I don't know how to turn that back on. Never mind. I think it's okay. There's some music. That's not placed right, is it? No, it is. It just looks a little weird. Okay, I wanna figure out ratios and things while we're waiting around for stuff to happen. So let's figure this out. This is a 2-second thing. So every second we produce 100 water, but it turns into 1 slag. Every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. It's taking place in a machine that has crafting speed 1, so that's the same. So in practice, we are creating... Let's just work that out, just so we can get the form right. Is that... This equals that divided by that. Alright, so in practice, 50 water is turning to 0.5 slag per second. Per electrolyzer. I'm trying to figure out the ratio of electrolyzers to burner to ore crushers. Can we make the better ore crusher yet? We cannot. So, okay, 50 slag per that. Ore crushers are really fast, if I recall right. They are 1 slag to 2 crushed stone. 1 slag crushed stone. The recipe is 1. Speed is 1. Not 100 slag, 1 slag to 2 crushed. So it can deal with 1 slag per second, so it's 2 to 1. Very simply 2 to 1. Let's shuffle this around a little bit. Move it down just a little bit if we have room. Which I'm hoping we do. Is that right? Yeah, okay. I know I'm wasting this, but that's okay. It's just for organizational purposes, which will make me happier. How far can that reach? Can it get all the way across? It can. Good. Alright. And let's go ahead and make a couple of inserters, because why not? Oh, we already have a few. We can always use more. This needs power. Or rather, it needs wood. Just so this happens without me having to watch it. The output's building up too fast. We need more. Oh. That's a power pole. I can move that here instead. Eventually we'll turn that right into a... It'll be turning into probably a belt. Actually, I probably should put this forward one more so that it can place onto a belt that's right here. That would make sense. Let's move that around. Okay. And we need a light so we can see things. And I think that should keep up. That's what we just calculated. That's 1 per 1. Or 2 per 1. So these are producing 0.5, that's consuming 1. Of course, these are fully powered now, which is odd. They weren't a moment ago. We're still hitting that limit. I like the windmills. They're much easier. I can walk on among them. They're much easier to deal with than the solar panels. In fact, is solar even a thing anymore? Or did the windmills replace them entirely? They are still a thing. Nah. But wait a minute. I want to... Okay, let's, while we're looking at that, electronic circuits. Because those are new. That was not a thing before. Instead, they were like, they were these white-looking circuit boards. But that just needs a basic electronics and iron plates? That's nothing. Ooh, what are they used for? Everything. It used to be you needed basic electronic boards everywhere. But I guess that's... Okay, it was these electronic circuit boards that are the next tier up. So they added a tier in between basic electronic boards and the electronic circuit boards. And these still need like lots of weird things. So these are useless now. These are just a component. And everything goes back to the green circuits. Does that work the same with the red? Are the red just... No, red are like another tier. And they're used for everything. Forget the name of the boards, top tier boards. Logic boards. I thought Logic was the board, but Logic wasn't finding it. So yeah, Logic boards, all they're used for is making processing units. Okay, so it weaved it back into the basic game, how there's processing units, and those are what's used for everything. So it's green, red, and blue circuits again. That's fine. It doesn't need to be that way. Okay, let's we have another couple of electrolyzers, don't we? Let's build another one of these burners, burner crushers. I can't. I need stone. There. Oh, it feels good to be back really early in the game. I mean, towards the end of the last run, I was spending so much time calculating ratios and that kind of thing, and I love doing that. But figuring out layouts is very interesting. It's very fun for me. It's relaxing. What am I doing? Make more sand. So it needs to go out this far. This can expand really wide. That's more than it used to be able to, I think. Sorry for the sitting around. I'm gonna go do something interesting in a moment. I promise. Huh. No, we're gonna need another pair of flare stacks, I think. Just to be safe. I know it's a little bit of a waste. How expensive are flare stacks? But we were having troubles with accumulating gases in the early game last time. They're pretty cheap. There's lots of iron. So yeah, let's make another couple of those. They gave me 5 extra circuit boards. I wonder about 4. Probably there was something I needed to spend them on, or I still need to spend them on, that I'm just not aware of yet. Or they're being generous and letting me build 2 hydro plants. Hydro plants are not that expensive. We could spam those out pretty hard. And likely will. Why isn't this getting any mineralized? Because I guess we're still building this over there. Or because we haven't put any more crushed stone in here forever. We need to get our minerals going again. But not yet, not yet. Let's get some more landfill coming in and more power generation. How's this doing on power, on wood chips? Slag first, and then we'll deal with wood chips and that kind of thing in a moment. Also, we're slowly eating through this initial stock of iron plates, and that is a concern. Also, this initial stock of basic circuit boards. Can't ignore that. Can't make a ton of inserters. We can build a few transport belts though. We're gonna need them. Yeah, deal with his excess. Until we can figure that out, it's not going to have any excess. So never mind. You just figure those out. Almost enough. We might go ahead and mirror this and then have a single thing of crushed stone going down. I don't know, is that the right idea to belt the crushed stone instead of the slag? I mean, slag is more compressed. It's 1 per. Oh well. I'm sticking with it. Well, this isn't going to be our final plan. This is just our convenient plan at the moment to get the factory going. I want to go see what that is. It's got a little thing. I can't tell what that resource is though. Desert garden. We see garden. There it is. Yeah. Desert garden, which is used to make exploration token biotech. In a desert farm, in a seed extractor. What's this for? Desert upgrade block. Farm with temperate upgrade. There's like this entire farming aspect of the game they added. What's this for? Desert garden. Fertilizer uses raw wood. I can plant trees. I think maybe this is something that doesn't matter for C block. Like it might be an expansion to Bob's or Angels or whatever, but we're never gonna find a tree. Although maybe that's the point of this, to give us access to those trees. I don't know. I'm eager to find out what the deal is with these new things. I think that's enough room. There we go. Now we have a decent amount of crushed rock coming in to turn into more landfill. But we are again not powered enough. Yeah. Well, that's why we wanted the landfill, so we could place more windmills. I'm extremely sympathetic to the idea that the game almost seems to encourage you to just leave it on for a couple hours at the very beginning of the game, just to smash out like a couple thousand landfill, and then you can play at a more normal pace without so much pausing and halting. But that's okay. It's not a problem. We're gonna tear all this down and rebuild it better, but not yet. I want to get this solid first. And these are like at 80%, 70, 80%. They do have an audio. You can hear them a little bit. It's very, very, very quiet. Is that far enough for over? One more space. Running low on panels too. Okay, while that's building, while this is going a little bit, let's figure out how we're gonna lay out our power and not our power. How we're gonna lay out the production. Can we make more crystallizers? Actually, does anything in this process need wood? Yeah, these need wood to burn. I'm thinking, how long can we delay having to set up this wood? This fuel manufacturing. I think we can delay for a decent long time. I mean, crushing needs it, and the incoming slag needs it a little bit. But otherwise, we can get by on windmills. Oh, wait, no. Let's leave that. Well, no, we're gonna have to do it anyway. Still hovering at 60-70%. Oh, eventually we're gonna have to we need to do our fuel production just to get the electric poles to work. But either way, I just want to clean things out so we can start a little fresher. Figure out what we're doing. How's that doing? It feels like we're not getting any better. Okay, wait a minute. Let's do some testing. I just want to figure this out. How much does... Alright, let's... place a random thing. That's not consuming. What do I need to do? Okay. I can't figure out. I'm trying to figure out how much one of these produces. So this is producing like 6.5 kilowatts as the wind goes up and down. Down to 5.3. Up again. Well, no, that's the drain. That's this one's drain. I need to. I'm trying to figure out what. Good. No, it keeps hopping around too much. These are trying to pull power. I want this to be solidly not being able to produce power, enough power, so we can look at what it's consuming. It goes up and down, it seems, as the wind changes, but less than 10 kilowatts. How much do each of these consume? These consume... it doesn't say. So it says 300 kilowatts. Okay, so... each of these needs 30 windmills? Really? So we have... 9, 18... Each of these is 9, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 90 windmills. 90 windmills is enough for 3 of them. So we should be close to having full demand satisfaction. There's just also a few other things that are leaching. Another way of looking at it is that all of these together, 104 of them, are producing 1.3 megawatts, and that's barely sufficient sometimes and not other times. There. Now it's sufficient. They're keeping up with the slag, right? Looks like it. A bit ahead, even, because these were not running at full capacity. How many more windmills do I have? One. I have one more windmill. Then we have to go start making our own. So they give you enough windmills to power about four of these electrolyzers. And then you have to expand on that. Okay, so let's look at this more. Because this is going to be our main way of getting... Well, let's figure this out. So how are we eventually going to get stereotype and magnetite and sapphirite? That's the wrong thing. It's one of those things where I can't search for it. Iron ore, which we get from crushed sapphirite, which we get from sapphirite ore, which is generated from either mineralized water or from mineral sludge. And mineral sludge comes from slag slurry, same as always. No changes there. Slag slurry comes from slag or crushed stone. I thought they made changes to that. But I guess not. It's mineral sludge. No, it seems pretty normal. Maybe they... Okay, wait a minute. There's no way to make that from nodules anymore. That's interesting. So, crystal slurry is from geodes. Are those still the same? Geodes are from crushing. No, geodes are to take the place of nodules. I see. I see. So heavy mud water. Oh, these things are annoying. I hate these washing plants. With a bias towards red and blue geodes. Now, what are those for? They're all for making crystal slurry. Crystal dust is new. What's crystal dust for? Another way of making crystal slurry? Anyway. We're getting ahead of ourselves. That's all far in the future. I should be, while I'm sitting around doing nothing, making wood. Alright, so I want to just figure out what I need to make this go. So a liquefier, we already started to do this. 10 crushed stone becomes 100 mineralized water. And 1 slag is 2 crushed stone. So 4 machines would be this times 4. Would be 8 crushed stone a second. That's what we're producing right now. And this is a 1 second, no, this is a 1.5 crafting speed and a 1 second. So let's start over from scratch and do this up here. I am saying that 10 crushed stone will produce 100 mineralized in 1 second. but the crafting speed on this is 1.5. So, in practice, one of these can create 150 mineralized per second and consumes 15 crushed stone. We don't have 15 crushed stone, we have half of that. So we do need to double up our production, I think, eventually. But, so in practice, we have 8 crushed stone, which will generate... That's not what I wanted. $80 mineralized water per second. So we consume mineralized water in the crystallizer. At a rate of 200 every 2 seconds. $200 mineralized becomes 1.8 ore, like we were saying, up above every 1 second? Or what's the timing on this? Every 2 seconds. And this is a speed 1.5. So a single crystallizer can consume, well, a single crystallizer can consume the output of, can not quite consume the output of a single liquefier. What's that ratio? 133 to 150. 0.8. Was that 1/9? 1 divided by 9. Or 8/9, I mean. Yeah. So that would, but that's close enough to 1-to-1 that I'm not going to care about it. Oh, I need to get that going. Fix that. I need to double this up, but to do that I need to get a lot more iron and steel, so maybe I should just go ahead and start putting these on a belt. I need to lane swap that. How do I do that again? No, that didn't help at all. It's easy to get things on the... Oh, wait, I've done this so many times. Why is it not coming to me? How to do this right? Come on, it's a simple lane swap, Michael. No, I don't want to do it that way. I want to swap. I need to go in, though. That's the issue. So it's like this. Why was that so hard? Alright. So... we said we just do have one crystallizer for now. We're gonna need a whole nother set of 4 to have 2. Wait a minute, what did we say? We said that A set of 4 will produce half of what, or a bit less than half of what, a bit more than half, which is good. Which means when we double that up, we'll have a bit more than a single liquefier can deal with, which we can turn the rest of that into landfill. So we're being smart about this. Relatively. This does need water. How do I do that? Pump? These. Pump jacks. No, that's the wrong thing. I need the thing that gives you water. Wait a minute. Options, Mata settings, boring water recipes. A water pump can bore for water. Is it these? Can we just... Okay, let me just try something. Can I just place this randomly? No, I can't. Oh, I don't care. We'll make it happen some other time. Actually, let's move this really far over. I should pay attention to this, the actual logistics, before we get too deep into this. So, each of these is outputting over 1 second. So it's producing 2 crushed stone a second, which is fine. So between the two of them, that's only 8 crushed stone, 4 crushed stone a second, and a yellow belt can hold that easy. Never mind. I don't need to worry about the logistics. I just need to start eating this stuff. So, no hesitating. Let's get this done. And the crystallizer right in front of it. So I don't want to bake the bricks, so that's going to be annoying. We have to deal with that manually for now. Yeah. Okay, now we have some very simple production going on. Is this not able to eat fast enough? I don't think it can. It needs to eat faster. Okay. So let's see. We were saying that that needs to pull in 15 crushed stone a second. 15 crushed stone a second is not achievable. That's not going to happen. But we can do the best we can. So each of these is half a second. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're pulling in 4 a second. 4 a second. So in practice, we're pulling in 4 a second, which means we can produce 40 mineralized per second. So we're producing 0.036 ore a second. Oh, that's kind of, oh no, not 40, not 4. Equals that. Where'd I get that 4 number? Oh, that's I just placed it there because that's how much we're being able to insert per second. Even though this slurps up the stuff pretty fast. Okay. So I need to output to a chest so that we can start picking things up. So we'll continue on automatically forever. So build some more chests. Alright. We need to double this up though. This was all based around the idea that we were going to have what am I saying is that's 4 slags. Okay. So if we're gonna double that up, that would be 8 slags, which would be 8 crushed stone. Wait a minute. Why is this not connected to that? That should be connected to that. No, because it's insert limited. I forgot. So we should be producing more crushed stone than that can consume. Just because we can't... Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are 1 per second. So that means we are pulling in 9. So we don't even need that. Make that. Then we can save one of our inserters. So this will consume all of that. I think. That's the plan. How's power? It's good. We have a nice little overproduction. We could start trying to build out to the side. Burning through those circuit boards. And we're gonna run into a problem with wood pellets soon. But we'll make do. So what do we need for these? Just 10? Let's go for that first then. Alright, we're a bit over time, so let's take a break right there. Thank you everyone for watching. My name is Michael Young. This is Factorio using the C-Block mod pack.